and welcome to a video on the introduction to plots and graphs in Julia. My name is David Ayala, and I'll be showing you some simple plots and graphs using the Julia program. So let's get started. First of all, you'll have to download some packages in order to actually access the plots that you can use in Julia. Here I have an example of the syntax you would use in order to actually access these packages. You would have to type package.add and inside the quotations the name of the package you want to add. Once that's done, you would run it, and then in order to access the package you would type this using statplots because that's the name of the package that I downloaded. Once you do that, you can actually access the package that you downloaded in order to be used for your program. Here we have a basic plot, which is a random number generator between 1 and 10, and here we have our results. As you see, simple line graph, no big deal. I'll be showing you more examples later on, but for now, this is just a simple example to show you. In Julia, you can do many plots and graphs. Some of them are scatter plots, histograms, pie charts, bar charts, and many more. We'll be looking at some examples right now. So, as I said, this is Julia Pro, and we have here some packages that we already pre-downloaded. I'm not going to show you how to download them right now because they would take a while, and also using them already ran them because running them takes quite a bit of time. So for now, just know that you would have your package up here, add it, and once you have it added, you would run it. Simple. So, like the PowerPoint had it, here we have our code for our basic line plot, which is 10 random numbers right there. So let's run this code right here. As you can see, we have all these 10 numbers, 0.0657 all the way to 0.944. And these are all our values for y. Now if we were to plot these, here we have. For x1 we have 0.0657, which is right there. And then for our x equals 10, we have 0.944, which is right up there. See? Simple. Now, let's say that you want to have a histogram of what you got. Let's just run the code. Right here, obviously x and y are the values preset up there. This doesn't really tell you much because it's just random numbers, so no biggie, just showing you simple ways to plot. Now let's do a bar chart. Now this splits up all of our values for our x's into different charts. We have our x1, like I said, is 0.0657, and so on and so forth. I'll be showing you with real data later on how this works. For now, like I said, just a quick example. Now, assuming let's say you want to have 2 line plots on one graph, you would do this, which is y equals rand 10, 2. The 2 symbolizes 2 arrays, while 10 is 10 numbers that will be added to those 2 arrays, numbered from 1 through 10 for our x-axis. So let's run that real quick. Clicking on here, you'll see that we have all of our 10 numbers in our arrays. So we have array 1, array 2, and all of them have 10 numbers in there. So now, since we have those preset values in our x and y's, if we do plot parentheses x, y, we'll have a line graph with 2 lines in it. Voila, simple as that. No biggie, just, quick little example. Now let's say you want to turn this line graph into a scatter plot. By doing that, you would have to do is plot x, y for the values I already have preset, series type equals :scatter. That will turn these line graphs into scatter plots. And to add a title to your plot, you would just type title equals quotation marks plot. It can be whatever you want. It could be, let's say, my plot. It doesn't matter. Let's just run it. And like I said before, it turns those lines into just scatter plots. Same exact data being shown, just different format. Let's ignore this for now because I'll be showing you this later on. Now, let's go to pie charts. Here we'll define the variable fruit as being peaches, plums, blueberries, strawberries, bananas. And we run that, get that's a string, obviously, with the values of peaches, plums, blueberries, bananas, so forth. Now, let's give each one of our variables from that the value of 100 for peaches, 32 for plums, 180 for blueberries, etc. And we'll name these bushels. Run it, and you'll see these are our values for each one of our variables. So now to do a pie chart, we would write down pie, parentheses, the name of our variable, and the values for each given variable. This right here is for the background, which I'll show you right now how it works. So there we have it. That's our pie chart. Obviously blueberries is the biggest one because the value of 180 for blueberries is the biggest number on here. Second biggest being peaches at 100. There you go. Now like I said, BG equals the background. RGB is the color that you want it. So you can actually play around with the color for the background. Let's say for example you want it just to be a plain white. You would just go with 1, 1, and 1. Now we just give you a simple white background. But I like the blue one, so I'm just gonna go back to my original blue. I would use black, but these lines right here would disappear because they would just blend in with the background. But blue doesn't work. Now, let's import some data, some real data. I'll be using this MLB 2015 data set, which includes data for players from Baseball League from 2015. You would type in read table, parentheses, and then the file location. Mine is for obviously this, yours would be different. And we're going to name that data set as MLB. So we'll just run it. And then we click here, it'll show us our data set right there, the values inside of it, so forth. Now that we have that, alright, so now let's do a basic scatter plot with our data. Now, for this right here, we have games, home runs for each player. We're going to have our X label equals games, our Y label equals home runs, legend equals false, because by default, Julia gives you the legend as true, and it will just show a legend that just says Y1 equals blank, Y2 equals something. So let's just run this code so you can see how it works. There you have it. Here we have the number of games played by each player in our data set, and the number of home runs scored by each player. So for a player that played, let's say, what is this, 130 games, he scored barely around 8 home runs. Obviously there's a big distribution here of players. Some players play a lot and score a lot. Some players don't even play that much, but they still get a lot of home runs. Just depends. Like I said, the BG right here, that's for the background, and this right here is for the size. So let's change that up. See, the size of our little scatter plot points changes. I'll just leave it there for now because it's a good size. Now let's make this scatter plot into a line plot. Bam. Now all of our points are just switched over to lines. For home runs getting, see? Distribution of home runs goes up and down, up and down. Obviously this player right here scored a lot of home runs in the games. Pretty cool. Now let's make a bar chart for home runs. So this is, once again, shows the distribution of the home runs per player. This is basically the same thing as our line plot we had before, if you see. It's just transferred over to a bar chart. Our X label players, that's how you name your axis right here for your names. Y label home runs, that names your Y axis. Legend false, obviously if I got rid of this command, it will show the legend right there. Y1 equals just the bars, but so we'll just get back that to that. That was a 2 right there. So let's run it again, get rid of that. Alpha 0.0.4, let's make that a see, it just changes the color of our bar chart. Let's make a histogram with our data that we have. We would type this and just enter it. And here's the distribution by home runs and each player. Nice, no big deal. Once again, title for our x-axis, our y-axis, and title for all of our graph. Pretty simple. Now, let's say we want to get all of our graphs that we just got right now all into one single plane. We would type the code plot x1, x2, x3, x4, because that's what we named our plots before. Let's run that and see. That's actually supposed to be x3. And then layout would be 2 by 2, which is 2 columns, 2 rows. Let's run it. And there you have all of our plots all in one plane on a 2 by 2 basis. Pretty nice. Now let's say you want to have 4 rows, 1 column. You would do layout for 1, and if you want to have it 1 row, 4 columns, you would do layout 1, 4. Obviously this one really packs in the data together. You're better off just using the 2 by 2 because everything seems nicely distributed. Now, a really cool thing with Julia is you can actually access our data sets if you really want to. So we would go up here and use this using our data sets to access the package that provides us with the data from R. And in this case, I'm going to use the iris data. So we would go right here, data sets, comma, iris. So this is the name of our package with the data we want to get from R. And we're going to name it iris. So there, we've gotten that. And let's just run this code real quick so you can see what it does. Bam. So right here, we access our data frame, the iris data frame, make into a scatter plot based on petal length and petal width. With the group species, this names our legend right there. As you can see, over here we have all 3 different types of petals. The title of our plot is flower plot. The X label of length and the Y label of width. Right here, cross, hex, and star, that's the type of dot you want to use for your data set. Obviously here, cross goes with the setosa, the hexagon goes with the versicolor, and virginica goes with the stars. It's just another fancy way to get all fancy with your plots, but it's really not necessary. But it looks nice. Now let's make a histogram from our R data set that we've got. Once again, simple, just petal length, which false, histogram, this just gives you the petal length. Now let's make a bar chart. And this just gives you all the petals, which we have 150 of them, and the different sizes of them. From them really tiny to quite long. And once again, alpha 0.4 just changes the darkness of our bar charts. And so let's go with 7, makes it pretty dark. And it's just the color of the actual lines. But there you have it. Just a simple intro on how to plot and do some simple graphs in Julia. Hope you enjoyed the video.